Hi, welcome. We just have some information we want to share with you for the senior class this year. My name is Cindy Strader, and I am the counselor for all students' last names A through D.
I am Sheila Peasley. I am the counselor for students with last names E through G.
I'm Katie O'Riordan. I'm counselor for the students with the last names H through MB.
I am Stephen Moore. I'm counselor for students with the last names MC to R.
And I'm Ryan Johnson, counselor S through Z.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Parker, and I'm the SAP counselor. This is Mr. Evans. He's our career development coordinator. And these are some of the services that are offered to our students under his watch. This is Sabrina Waters. She's our financial aid counselor. She works with students on completing the FAFSA and general financial aid questions. She assists Cary High School on Wednesdays. Her contact information is listed below.
We know that there is a lot of information. It's very important to stay informed. There's several ways to do this. One way is through the Cary High School Student Services website. You can access this by going to the Cary High School website, clicking on students at the top, and then you'll find student services underneath there. We've also created a Cary High School Class of 2021 Google Classroom. Most of our seniors have joined this, but if you have not, here is the code. Mr. Bryant also puts out weekly messages about school opportunities and upcoming events. It's important to read those. Hopefully you're already receiving them perhaps by text or email, but if not, they're also available on the Cary High School website for reference. And it's important to always be checking your Wake County student email for upcoming, again, events and opportunities. There is a senior information packet available on the Cary High School Student Services website. This packet includes a lot of information about upcoming dates, not just for now, but throughout the school year. Step-by-step information for how to request and send your transcript to both in-state schools and out-of-state schools. There's information about college testing and useful links for seniors and parents about testing, application tips, career development, exploration, and lots of other kind of things. Senior conferences. This is a great opportunity to meet one-on-one with your counselor. We've already begun our conferences, so if you haven't signed up, you can do so by going to the Student Services website. This is an opportunity, again, to review with your counselor your high school grad credits, your spring schedule. We talk about your post-secondary plans and any other questions you may have. Parents are welcome to attend, but of course not required. And then we know many of our seniors got their senior portraits taken this summer, maybe in July. But if you didn't, there are 2 makeup days coming up, September 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the 29th from 1 to 5. You can find information about this on the Class of 2021 Google Classroom. And there's a link where you sign up for a specific appointment. It is important that you have an appointment time. If you are not interested in a senior portrait, but you do want your picture taken for the yearbook, they will be coming and doing those makeups on October 19th. We are here to support you and your students. So there will be a number of upcoming college boot camp sessions to help your students with getting started on their college applications, completing their NC residency determination form, and other application questions that they may have. We will talk more about the CFNC website here in a few minutes, but we did want to remind students that there's a very valuable website called cfnc.org. And on one particular week, College Application Week, there's a number of activities that are available to support students. And during this week, there are several North Carolina colleges that students can apply to for free. So generally, these tend to be the private schools or smaller public schools, but there is a list of participating colleges on the website, or you can find it at ncountdowntocollege.org.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Peasley. One other thing that we need to make sure everybody is well aware of is that graduation comes through earning credits. And what you need to accomplish before you graduate is 26 credits. We have what's called the Future Ready Core course of study. So those 26 credits are broken up like this, with 4 math, 4 English classes, 4 social studies, 3 sciences, 1 health and PE, or ROTC combination, and then 2 any electives from world language, CTE, or fine arts, and then 8 other electives to help round out your 26. Many of our seniors are have a full course load to try to complete this. Other seniors are looking at maybe 2 or 3 classes that they have remaining to meet their state expectations. For our students that have worked very hard and have earned academic achievement at a high level, there are a few different areas where that can be acknowledged through an honor system, like NC Academic Scholars Program that's been around for many, many years in North Carolina. It's one of the few academic scholars that we use the unweighted GPA for. So a student would need to have a minimum GPA of a 3.5 from the unweighted side of their GPA. They also have to participate in a chemistry or physics class and 3 other honors or AP classes. It's important to note that we use our 7th semester, which is this coming semester end, to calculate our final GPAs and rank for our senior class. The other area where a student will be recognized for high achievement is through our honor graduates. We use the Latin system in Wake County, where students have a weighted GPA of above a 3.75. That is a cum laude award. If a student has over a 4.0, then that is a magna cum laude status, and then 4.25 and higher is a summa cum laude award. And that is run out of the semester grades at the end of this semester. So we will be able to acknowledge our recipients after our completion of the first semester grades, and we can go from there. CFNC, as Ms. Peasley had mentioned in a previous slide, is a great resource. What I tell my students is please recover or create a CFNC account. Many of your students may have even created this as early as middle school, and it's an excellent resource, and we just haven't really reinforced it over the years for students to keep diving back into what's there, and then all of a sudden it's senior year and they need to send their transcript through the CFNC. So please either recover or create an account for the College of Foundation of North Carolina. The College Board, we know mostly through SAT or AP exams, but they also offer a lot of great resources to help you practice for your SAT for free. And Big Future is the link within the College Board to help you find colleges that fit your interest area, explore majors that might work for you, and if those majors are offered at the schools that you're interested in, as well as some scholarship opportunities as well. For ACT, there is free practice for the ACT. Most of you took the ACT last spring before we closed down school. We'll reference a little bit later that turning in scores to your colleges is an optional effort. But if you do want to send or do need to send official scores to your school, you will go do that directly through actstudent.org.
So fee waivers. If a student is eligible for free or reduced lunch, You may also be eligible for a fee waiver for the SAT or ACT or for college applications fee waivers. You want to just talk to your counselor or Mrs. Beltowski in Student Services. Wake Tech has so many wonderful programs. Students can earn an associate's degree or certificate, or they can enroll in the college transfer program. You can check their website for all their different programs, as well as the placement program that they're using currently. The Career and College Promise program allows high school students to take free college classes and earn high school and college credit. It's an excellent program. The information sessions will be posted on the Wake Tech website beginning September 28th. The classes do fill up quickly, so if you see one, sign up for it so that you can find out more about classes and possibly be eligible for a class second semester this year. The military has many opportunities for education as well as careers. Currently, the recruiters are not able to visit campus, but you can contact the recruiting office for the branch you're interested in and speak to a recruiter, and they'll be happy to answer your questions. They're also creating videos to share with all the high schools to talk about the requirements and benefits of joining the military. Scholarships and financial aid, we get lots of questions about these this time of year. The Student Services website is a great resource, as well as the Wake County Scholarship Plus website. That's a list of all the scholarships we're aware of. You can check the individual college and universities that you're applying to for their financial aid websites. There are some dates that you want to make sure that you send your application in by those deadlines so that you're considered for some scholarships. Our financial aid counselor, Ms. Waters, is an excellent resource. And the other important area you want to make sure you're aware of is the FAFSA. The first date to complete the FAFSA is October 1st, and there are many free resources available to help you complete that if you need help. Financial aid night will be October 8th, and we will also hold a Spanish session that will be announced soon. The Park, Moorhead, Kane, and Levine Scholars programs are starting the application process. To be considered as a school nominee for the Park or Moorhead Kane, you'll need to submit your application to Ms. Peasley by Monday, September 21st. You may self-nominate. You do not have to be a school nominee to apply, so you're welcome to self-nominate as well. To be nominated by your counselor for the Levine Scholars Program at the UNC Charlotte, you do need to be in touch with your counselor by Monday, October 5th. For transcript requests, there is a step-by-step process on our website because it is different depending on if you're sending your transcript to a school in-state or out-of-state. You do want to wait until after the senior rank is finalized, which will probably be around September 24th, but we will announce that. So please don't send your request until after that date. And you just want to check with your college because some colleges want an unofficial copy uploaded, some want an official. It just really depends. So make sure that you're checking the application procedures for each college.
Okay, so if you look in the senior information packet, which is located on the Student Services website, there is a sheet in the back of the packet called College Application Tips. I strongly recommend that you look at that as soon as you can just to get some good tips there for your applications. For students applying to any North Carolina college, that could be a 2-year or a 4-year college, you need to complete the North Carolina Residency Determination application first. That application will generate a residency ID number, which you will have to enter onto all of your North Carolina college applications. So you want to make sure you do that first. When you're applying to colleges, you want to check the academic requirements for admission. Does the college have a minimum GPA for applicants? All public North Carolina 4-year colleges require a minimum 2.5 weighted GPA. You also want to see if colleges have specific required courses. Some out-of-state colleges require extra courses like fine arts electives, maybe a third world language credit or a fourth science class. And you want to make sure that you're aware of any additional courses that some colleges may require. You also want to check to see for colleges that are requiring an SAT or ACT score this year, if they have a certain minimum score that they need. You also need to determine if additional materials are needed as part of your application. That could include teacher recommendations, the CSS profile, and that is an additional financial aid form that must be filled out for some colleges in addition to the FAFSA. Some smaller colleges may require an interview. A lot of colleges also require an essay or a resume, and many do require a counselor statement. Also, you want to make sure that your course schedule is finalized for your entire senior year before you submit your application. One big factor in college admissions, or one big factor in college admissions, is the strength of the student's senior year course load. So they do base their admissions decision partly on the courses that you have listed on your application for the entire senior year. So you want to make sure that that schedule is accurate. You want to make sure that you're submitting your application several days prior to the application deadline. It's not uncommon for some websites to crash on the night that the deadline has approached. So you want to make sure you're ready for that. You want to make sure that the student is completing the application and not the parent. Colleges have told us that they can tell a difference in a writing style between a 45-year-old and an 18-year-old. So you want to make sure that the student is completing their own application. And finally, you want to make sure that the student is asking multiple people to review the application. Many colleges this year are test optional. That includes all of the public four-year colleges in North Carolina. That means that they will not require an SAT or an ACT score as part of the college admissions process. It also means that they will not look down upon a student who chooses not to submit those scores. And so you may ask, should I submit some scores? You need to check to make sure, or check to see what the college's middle 50% range of ACT and ACT scores are. You need to see if your score is within that range or maybe even above that range. Depending on the competitiveness of the college, at that point, you may decide you may want to send in scores for this year. And again, most colleges only want to see scores that will help strengthen your application. You do want to check with your colleges of interest to see if they automatically include any scores that they receive, or if they will only consider scores that would strengthen the application. The best piece of advice I can give is that you talk to each college individually to get any special questions answered. So you may ask, how many colleges should I apply to for four-year colleges? The College Board, the makers of the SAT, recommend applying to 4 colleges just because statistically it does increase your chances of admission, but you do want to use your best judgment. But definitely apply more than one college. So when should you apply? You do want to check your college admissions deadlines. In most cases, it's a better idea to apply earlier rather than later. Some colleges give preference to early applicants. A lot of colleges will consider students for certain merit scholarships if they apply for admission by the first or even sometimes the second admissions deadline. For most students, they would like to receive a decision before March. The first round of admitted students often also gets invited to apply earlier for housing and financial aid opportunities. Another reason to apply early is that you get your decision more quickly, meaning that if you do find out in January that you were denied at a particular college or deferred at some schools, then that does give you time to apply to additional backup schools if you need to.
You can see here all of the local colleges and universities that participate in Common App. The Common App is just a great place for students to fill out their application one time, and then they can choose which colleges to send them to. Back in the day, when I was a student, we had to send one to each one. So this is a great place for students to do their application. Many students will need a recommendation letter written by their counselor. That's why we have a recommendation packet on the Student Services website. There are a few things that we'd like for the student to fill out in the packet: the student information sheet. There's a parent response form, which is optional but definitely helpful. And if they have a resume, that could definitely help us write a great letter. We will not begin the recommendation until we receive these forms, and give us at least 2 weeks notice, please. You can see some of the terminology for admissions. Just want to definitely point out early decision. It usually is binding, which means you must attend the college if you are admitted. And just roll through some of those, let you read through those real quick. Got deferral, wait list, just some that you see with admissions. College visits. If we return to campus, seniors are allowed 1 college visit per semester. You will contact the attendance office for the additional information, and there is paperwork included. There will be virtual college fairs this year. The dates will be on a handout. I just want to note that we're also going to have representatives from different colleges who will have a Google Meet that students can go to and attend, and we'll put that on a calendar that they can see. Here you see the top 12 tips for making the most of a virtual college fair. I think this would be really great, especially this year, to read. Register for the NACA Virtual College Fair. A lot of colleges and universities attend and are represented, and this would be a great place to find out good information. As you can see, there are 3 dates upcoming that you can attend.
So we have a quick reminder for you in regards to your immunization boosters. Due to COVID-19, the NC immunization program has extended the requirement date to September 30th. If the parent hasn't provided immunization documentation by October 31st, the student must be excluded from school until documentation is received. So please reach out to Laura Minnick, our data manager. Her contact information is listed there. You can email that documentation or mail it in. Either way, we greatly appreciate it. Contact your counselor. So you can send an email and reach out to us as a request. We are meeting with students through Google Meet as needed to have some more intimate contact as far as just being able to see your face. Telephone calls as well, but mainly through email so we can set up a time to reach out to you. And we wish you the best of luck. This is a different senior year for many of you. We ask that you take a moment to just take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. We are going to make it. And so at the bottom, you see a tiny URL as well as a code so that we can answer any questions that you may have. We're going to compile those questions into a FAQ sheet so that we can get back to you with all the information that you need. Thank you so much for joining us.